Welcome to this channel. In this video I want to be demonstrating how you can make simple flyers in Photoshop. So let's get to it. So I've tried to see if I can find some simple flyers online, and I don't know, I picked some that I thought were simple, but in the process of recreating them I found out that I have to do a lot of explanations. So I decided, let me just start simple and then probably more videos on the way. So for this exercise I want to introduce some things to you, because graphics and designing is not all about rigid steps. It has to do with your creativity. There's flexibility that has to come in play. So I often say that what you need is get a good knowledge of the tools that are available in the software, whichever software you're using, whether it's Photoshop, CorelDRAW, whatever you're using, Illustrator, whatever. Get a good knowledge of the tools, what they do, then apply your own creativity, your own sense of creativity in how to on how to apply those tools and manipulate them to create what is in your mind. So 70% of how good your work will be lies on your creative ability. So you need to train your imagination and your creativity, so that knowing all these things and what they do, you can manipulate them and use them as you will. So I'm gonna be doing some explanation in the process of demonstrating what I'm about to do. So let's get to it. So flyers, just a simple flyer, maybe, okay, let me say a greeting card. We are in the festive season, so just click on new to open a new document. Now it's not, if you are new to Photoshop, you might not have all these things, because I've been working a lot. So these are my custom sizes and the frequent ones I use. But if you want, you can just come to print, then look for this A5 size. That's what I'm going to be using, A5 size. I will not be talking about sizes in this video, so but I'm just look at what I'm doing. Click on A5. This is the orientation. I'm gonna be using landscape, so click on landscape and click on create. It's gonna make this white board. That is your background layer. One thing I love about Photoshop is that it works in layers. Layers enable you to have control over every element. That brings me to talk about elements. In design, as what is referred to as elements. Elements are what makes up your design. There are shapes. There could be shapes in your design, the text, and abstract designs. Those are elements. A good design is actually a good arrangement of the elements that are contained in your design. If you're able to arrange them very well to not to appear unbalanced, it gives your design a good outlook. Everything should be aligned and properly arranged, and you are good to go. So these are be paying, as we are going for through this video, be paying attention to the layers and how I'm using the layers. So, and okay, now this shape is this size of my sheets appears too big for me. I can reduce it, I can increase it using the crop tool. This is the crop tool, and the shortcut for it is C. Just press C on your keyboard or click here, then adjust it to the size you would like it to be. I don't have any specific in mind. I just want to reduce it a little bit, although what I started with was A5, but yeah, I can continue with that. Just this is just for demonstration. We're not printing, so I like this. So hit enter, or you click this commit symbol here to commit the changes. Now I want to make a shape. Like I told you, there are many ways to achieve a particular thing in Photoshop. It doesn't have a specific one method thing. It's not a one method thing. It depends on your creativity. So I'm about to, and I want you to learn something from this video. You know, when you look at designs, look around, you find cards that were designs. I want you to bring those cards, look at them, look at the shapes. Everything there is is all about shapes. Look at it very well. You will see it's all about shape. The common shapes, you know, circle, triangle, rectangle, square. Now the creative ability of the designer to, you know, manipulate those shapes in making new ones is what improves or what showcases his creative ability. So take a look at it. So I want to use this rectangle. This is a shape tool, and it's on the rectangle. If you click and hold down on it, you will see this option coming out. You can select other ones, but I want to use the rectangle too. So I'm gonna make a rectangle like so. Now the color, this is the color it has because I've been working with it, but it can be changed from here. That's why I like using this tool. Like I said earlier, this is not the only way to make a rectangle in Photoshop, but I just use this one. There are other ways you can make a rectangle in Photoshop, but why I like this rectangle tool is that it gives me quick access to or if I want to change the color, I can do it quickly. So I want to be using a very red color, red. Okay, to red, maybe this is fine for me. All right, did you see what I did? Let me do it again. Double click on this little icon here. It will bring out the color picker dialog box. Then take this light to the red part of it, then take this one to the reddest part, or depending on the color you want to use. Now you can also type in color codes. We have what we call color codes. If you know the color code of the particular color you want, you can type it here. If you don't understand what is color code, maybe you can browse that, Google that, you will see it. So that's that about that. So if you select your color, hit the OK button, it commits the changes. Now I want to work on this shape. It's a rectangle, but it can be distorted, it can be changed, it can be, you know, beaten into other shapes, so to speak. So for this, I'm going to be using the pen tool. This is what we call the pen tool. It has other forms, but basically the first one, the shortcut, this is the move tool. The shortcut is V. You can also see it written here. Some of these things are written. Photoshop is getting easier and more automated. So I'm gonna hit the P key on my keyboard to select the pen tool. Now I want it to have a bend. I want to bend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna hold the Alt button down, the Alt button, to show me this particular symbol, and then I'm gonna click and drag. Yes, click and drag. Let me repeat it again. Yeah, it's going to show you this message and you're going to say yes, but let me repeat it again. So doing it again, the rectangle is selected, right? Now hold down the Control key to see this. Once you see the select this particular type of arrow, it's for selection. Click on the rectangle shape tool. It brings out these edges. Now go to this edge. Yes, go to this edge. Now your pen tool has to be selected, remember. Hold down the Alt key to bring out this type of arrow. Click and drag to make this curve. Then depending on what you have in mind, I want to make a shape that will look like this, something like this, and say yes. Then I will do the same thing here. I'll do the same thing here. I want it to, okay, like so. All right, right, like so. Then maybe I have to bring this one off. All right, okay, I think the shape is fine. I don't have any particular thing in mind. That's the problem. Wanting to make your design easy, picture it in mind. Actually, I have an idea of what I want, so, but not fully formed anyway. So that's about that. So the shape is made something like this. So you see how I made this shape now from a rectangle. Now what I want to do is I want to make a kind of an illusion, but a shade illusion with it. So I'm going to duplicate. I will have to duplicate this this shape, and there's an easy way to duplicate things in Photoshop. Just hit Ctrl J, Ctrl then J on the keyboard. The other ways to do it, but I'm showing the quick one. Now notice that the layer is 2 now, and is a copy. It's retitled it copy. And by the way, you can title your layers, you can change their names for easy identification. When your layers start getting too much, you can start naming them so that you will know which is which and not be confused. You can also group them. Yeah. So the next thing I'm gonna be doing, I'll select the layer underneath, then I'm gonna shift it a little bit forward, holding down the shift key, then dragging it forward. Why am I holding down the shift key? So that it will move in a straight line. If I don't hold down the shift key, it can be moving anyhow it wants, but if I hold down the shift key, it is restricted to that particular direction I'm moving it to. So now I'm gonna select, double click to select a lighter shade of this color, because that's what I want to do. I want to make a gradient effect, just a lighter shade. Hope you're getting what I'm doing. Hit the OK key. Then this I'm going to tilt it, like rotate it. Now for this, make sure the layer you are working on is selected. You must select the layer you are working on to specify what you want to do, where you want to do what you want to do. Then press the Ctrl T on the key on the keyboard. Ctrl T. You can do that from here. Free transform, Ctrl T is also written here, but the shortcut as you're working, for you to be faster, just press the Ctrl T. It brings out this. Now this, when you come closer, when you go to the edges, you will see this type of arrow, and you know, all this type of arrow, therefore adjusting the size, the scale and the shape. But when you see this, when you move a little bit further from it, you see this is for rotation. Yeah. Or anyway, and when you come inside and right click, you will see more options of this to make it more specific, but by default it works like that. So but I'm not going into all this now, but they are quite very useful, all of them. So I'm gonna tilt it a little bit, just like so. You can actually input the angle of tilt you want from here. If you know what you want, actually you can put the angle you want, how you want it to tilt, 30 degrees, minus 30 degrees. So but I don't have such info with me now, so I'm gonna do what I can to get what I want. So I think I like this, like this. Hit enter to make the changes. I'm gonna duplicate this layer once more, Ctrl J, and also work on the one underneath. Now drag it out just like the former one. Then a lighter shade, again a lighter shade. What do you think? This is good, right? Yes. Apply the transform again, tilt. See how I'm doing it? Tilt. This doesn't have a specific way to do it. It all boils down to what you have in mind, how you can bring it to life. So yeah, let me shift it a little bit backwards with the arrow keys, a little bit backwards so that everything seems to be rhyming. Now look at this effect. Isn't that good? So now I've walked you through on how I did this. So all right, so I'm gonna import another image into my work. I need a Christmas tree. There are other ways to import images, but the quick one for me now, I will click and drag it by going to my desktop. This is the image. Click, come to Photoshop, drag it inside. So, and here we have it. Position it how you want it. Hit the OK, hit the commit button. This tree seems to be a little big. So press the Ctrl T key on the keyboard, holding down the Shift key to retain proportionality. Click and reduce the size to the acceptable one you want. Then when you are done, click the commit key. Let me do that again. To go backwards, you press the Ctrl Z, just like many other applications, the Ctrl Z key. Then if you want to go more than one step backwards, you press the Ctrl alternate key plus Z. Ctrl alternate Z, Ctrl alternate Z, Ctrl alternate Z. This thing should be written here. Yeah, see what I'm saying? It's here. Ctrl Z is one step backwards. Then to continue to do more than one, you need to hold these three keys down. Now we also have a history tab in Photoshop. This history tab keeps a record of what you did so far. So if you want to go back to an earlier thing you did that is still here, it has a limit. So if it exceeds the limit, you cannot go back beyond that point. But where you want to go back to is still retained in the history, you can always go back to it. For instance, if I click here now where I changed anchor points, it will take us back to that particular place. So but we have moved forward, right? All right, so what I did again is to press the Ctrl T key. Now look at, without holding down the Shift key, and I'm trying to reduce it, you see the proportionality is changing, and I might finally succeed in distorting the proper perspective of this image. So for me to retain the proportionality, I can hold down the Shift key so that the proportionality of the image is retained while I'm reducing the size or increasing the size. So that's a tip, keep that in mind. All right, then all right, look, if you look very well, you will see there is something here from, yeah, we can still clean that out later on. So if you don't like that, we can still clean that out. All right, I'm supposed to write Merry Christmas, right? So this is how to introduce text into your work. Now look at my layers. If I want to properly arrange my layers, I can bring these three elements, that's these three things I've done. No, this button is for switching. It looks like an eye. When you close the eye, you are shutting down that particular element from appearing on your work. So that's what it does. So if I shut the three eyes, they will disappear. If I open them again, they will appear. So, but I want to show you that you can arrange your work by selecting these three. Hold down the Ctrl key while clicking to select more than one layer. Select more than one layer. Then press the Ctrl G on the keyboard, or you right click and you see group layers. Just press Ctrl G, it groups it. You can rename it, or should we rename it just anything you want, shape or whatever. I don't know, nothing in mind particularly. So this is our Christmas tree. So how this layer things works, by the way, is it shows how the elements are arranged. Like, see, this tree now is obviously appearing behind our shape. But if you want it to come in front or on top of our shape, you can do that by adjusting the position of the layer. Bring this one down, it will come up. So that's sweet in Photoshop. Anyways, That's about that. So yeah, and if you notice that there's a way I used to select my elements quickly. It's just by holding the Control key and clicking on what I want to select. For instance, if I want to select this tree, instead of coming to my layer to select it all the time, assuming this was selected and I want to select the tree, I can hold down the Control button and click on the tree. It does automatic selection. But this box has to be unchecked. If you check it, it's gonna be behaving strangely, but it's helpful too. So let's talk about text. This is the text tool. So you want to write a text, click on it. This is the symbol, then click on where you want to write. For now, let's just write something, then we can arrange it later. Merry Christmas. All right, commit change. Now let's see. Let's make it bigger. This is the text panel. If this is not showing in your Photoshop, come to the Windows, make sure this is checked. Check it. It will appear by the left. Yeah, that's about that. So increase the size. This should be fine. If you want to change the fonts, I have some fancy fonts, so let me select from my library. There are websites, free websites you can download fonts from. So in case you are looking for this font, this is the name, VIVALDI. That is the name, Vivaldi or what. So Merry Christmas is showing now. This is used to make the text bolder, just like in some of the other regular applications. This can italize the text, make it bent, all caps, subscript, superscript. Okay, this is superscript, this is subscript, this is underline, this is strike through. Oh, and all. So this for demonstration. I don't want to spend much time fine-tuning all of these things. Happy New Year. Yeah. So I'm just, if you want to get the best, you have to spend some time and do some fine-tuning, do some variety, test this, test that to see which is better. But if I start doing that, this video will really be long, and I don't want it to be too long. So I'm just showing you possibilities. Now you, at your own time, you can check out other things. Let me increase this. Let me use 55 points for this. 55, enter. It fixed. All right, now I want to change this color from this brown, carton brown to green. Now if you want to change the text color, you can change it from this dialog box. Just click on color, click here, it brings out this dialog box, this color picker tool. Now you can use this picker tool to select any color from inside your design. You can pick colors, that's why it's called a picker. You can pick colors. So I want to pick this green from this Christmas tree, the green, and pick the green, then hit OK. Yes, maybe I should make this bold, then maybe reduce the point to 51. Okay, how do you see it? No, maybe the bold is not a good idea. Let me reduce it. Okay, then maybe make this 52. I think I like this. You might prefer something not what I done. So I want to put a shadow to this new year, Happy New Year. It looks, I think a shadow would be good. Sometimes in your design experience you might have feelings, so work on your feelings. Your feelings might actually be correct. All right, how did I get here? Come to the text layer, that particular text layer, close to the extreme end of the layer tab, double click to bring out this dialog box, the layer style box. Now there are a couple of effects you can apply on your layer. All these things are effects: the blending options, the bevel and emboss, contour, texture, stroke, inner shadow. Now I'm not going to be explaining all of this in this video, so I'll just show you what I want to do. I want to add a shadow, drop shadow. Now this is what it does. Let me come closer so you see what I'm talking about. So this is how the drop shadow works. If you increase the size, let me just show you how things work around here. Distance, distance. The opacity is how strongly it will appear in it. So let me just leave it mildly. The distance should not be so far from the text. Then the spread, not so much spread, so that it will be sharp. It will appear sharp. All right. Okay. The size comes. Okay, let me leave it at 1. The spread is good. Distance should come closer at 2. Once you are okay with your what you're doing, hit the OK button to commit the changes. Now look at the difference. Let's switch it on and off. All right, I think it's okay for me. I feel like I should add something here, like a dash, a line. Now select the line too. How do I do this? Right click on it, select the line too, then draw the line. Excuse me. Draw the line. It's quite big, so reduce the height. This H is for height, W is for width. So reduce the height to 9. Okay. Remember the color should not be this color, but let's just get what we want. Then we can change the color from here again. What I want is green, and let me pick from this text so that to be uniform. Green. Hit OK. All right, bring it down here. Oh, sorry, I want to extend it a little bit. So Control T, extend it a little bit. You can do that from the width. The width controls the length. You can do that by dragging it, or by inputting values, or by dragging directly on the object. When you are done, hit the commit button. So let's see how it looks. It might not be necessary anyways, but you know how to do it now. So if I don't want it, I'll delete it. Alright, in order not to do a lot of trials in this video to make it long, you see how we have been able to achieve some things. So now I can clean this. Now, because this is a smart object, what we call smart objects are layers with this kind of conscription or symbol behind them. I'll just double click on it because it's a smart object. It's quite easy to click, to delete, or to work on it without spoiling the image. Is one way of working constructively, non-destructively. So I'm going to use the lasso tool. The other tools you can use to do this, can use the eraser, whatever that comes to your mind. Lasso tool, just select around it, delete, deselect, Control D to deselect them, Control S to save. Once it saves, that's how smart objects works. Not everything works like this because it's a smart object. That's why you can do this. See, it's gone. So this is basically how the background is plain. I know. Let me do one final touch on the background. Let me use, I have a background. All these things are some of these things, you can find them online, free. Abstract backgrounds. So holding down the shift key not to lose proportionality. You might not care because it's the background. It might not really affect something, but if it's an image that will affect something, you have to be concerned. You have to be careful. So let me reduce the opacity. Remember, whatever layer you want to effect a change on must be selected. Now selecting the background is selected, the background image is selected. Now I want to reduce the opacity. See what it does. 0 makes it disappear. Then I wanted to just have a subtle effect on it, so like so. See, yeah. So I think these are final results. So you see how we have been able to, do some things. And if you notice there's something by this place is from the background, you can still clean it out, just like the way we clean the other image. The tree image is a smart object. Double click, see, it's a smart object. Can do what we did. But all right, let me just, now there are many ways to do it. Like I said, let me use the patch tool for this one. Patch tool. I hope I'm not complicating matters. I really hope I'm not. Patch tool to make it clean, then save it back, close it. It's gone. All right, I think this is about this. I can put heading. We didn't really go into all the basic ethics of design, but you can see nothing is appearing too awkward here. I want to reduce this size of this a little bit so that it will fit in more. All right, I think I like this. Yes. So I hope you can be able to do this shape, make a text, change the color, add a background shadow to it, import images and position them very, very well, then clean stuffs. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you really understood what I said. Now finally, before I end, let me show you how you can save your work. Just hold down the easy, and it depends on what you are doing. Maybe are you working on a printing job, or if it's just for social media, online images is okay to use this format. Save as can work too. You just need to put the title of your work, then select the format you want, then choose the location you want it to be saved in. I want to save at desktop, then hit save, and then choose the quality of the image. But look at what you're going to do for the option I was talking about. Hold down the Control, the Alternate, the Shift button and press S for saving. 4 buttons in total. Save for web, that's the option I'm talking about. Save for web. Now this here is the size of this image. This option for saving is designed for that purpose. That's why it's called save for web. So it gives an optimum size for your image, so it will not be too large, and it can be used for some images that are designed for websites. They're not images that are supposed to be heavy, so you have to find a way to get a good clear image with a moderate, not too big size, that kind of thing. Yeah, so when you are done choosing the format here, format of the image, JPEG, GIF, PNG, whatever you want. Let's work with JPEG. You can choose this affects the size. The higher you go, the higher the size is the maximum now, which is 864.9 kilobytes. So let's work with that. It's not too big. So hit save. Choose where to save it. Desktop is already selected. That's where I want to save it. Then I will give it a name. Let me say sample 2. Hit save. Yes, that's how to save it. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, you can see you have So thank you for watching. Give it a try and you can always show me your outcome. My name is Ibibi once more. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like my channel. Like the video, subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Remain blessed.